Definitely, I think he has. I mean, first year starter leads us to the playoffs, things like that. I mean, everything's not gonna be what you want it to be. You're gonna have ups and downs. You're gonna have little bumps here and there. And I mean, when adversity strikes, I mean, he responds. So I mean, I think he's gonna be that guy.
Hello, everyone. This is Al Kabir, the analyst, and today I will be talking Jonathan Gannon. Great, great interview with the Broncos. Got a second interview lined up with the Texans. Also, I want to talk about DeVonta Smith. I wanted to talk about this earlier of him endorsing and believing that hurts. This is Al Kabir, the analyst. Let's get into it. Jonathan Gannon. Jonathan Gannon. It looked like he's going to be out of Philly, and for good reasons. For good reasons. And I like Mike Zimmer. I like the idea of a former head coach who's trying to get back to being a head coach because you look at it, Dan Quinn with the Cowboys hate them, but their defense took it to another level. It's because Dan Quinn wanted another job and he got an interview with the Giants itself. But you seen that with Todd Bowles. I mean, they Todd Bowles with the Broncos doing one hell of a job with the Broncos, and I'm saying with the Broncos. I'm sorry, Todd Bowles with the Buccaneers. He's doing one hell of a job with the Buccaneers. But I always like the idea of getting a guy who was a head coach, especially a defensive mind, bring him in as a coordinator. Might be short term, depending on how fast they turn around the defense, and let them rock out because it usually worked most of the time. Most of the time it works instead of bringing in a new young guy. I like the idea of having a veteran guy who's seasoned, who's been in his game, who had the defense at one point playing like a top five defense with Minnesota. So I like that idea with Zimmer. But like I said, you see Dan Quinn what he can do with talent. That's why I said the Atlanta Falcons, I think they fired him prematurely. All his players were hurt, but it seemed like they wasn't going nowhere. Maybe the players wasn't listening to him no more, and that could have been it. But salute to Dan Quinn, man. He turned that Dallas Cowboys defense around, and that's why I like the idea of bringing in a guy who been in this league, who was successful. I hate the Vikings, but he 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 ran a successful franchise. I think the Vikings are not in the playoffs because Kirk Cousins. As simple as that, Kirk Cousins. But bring him to Philly, let him redeem himself. A year or two, he might be out as well. I mean, but he can turn around his defense, and it won't be so much of a change possibly because Jonathan Gannon did bring some of the schemes, I believe, from Zimmer to Philly. So won't be too much of a difference. But now I want to get into DeVonta Smith endorsing Jalen Hurts. Older clip came out like 3 to 5 days ago. And DeVonta Smith kept it real. Like it was his first year starting, led his team to the playoffs, and he believed he's going to be that guy. I know it's a clip floating around. The Buccaneers saying like, look, he can't read the defense and this and that, right? But he's a young guy. He's a young guy. The exception of Joe Burrow, and Joe Burrow got sacked like 8 times today, and he still won the game. Him and Donovan McNabb own that record in the playoffs. Salute to Donovan McNabb. But really think about it, they all on the same level. They all Kyler Murray, Jalen Hurts, Herbert, all of them is in that pot where if you want to throw two in there, but two might be a little under them, they all in that same pot. They just trying to figure it out. They trying to figure it out. But Joe Burrow got one hell of a team around them. I think they won despite of Joe Burrow kind of a bit, even though Jamar Chase went off. But the Bengals defense had one hell of a game. He sort of game managed a bit, even though numbers say different. If you watch the game and look at the numbers, it say different. But salute to Joe Burrow, man. Salute to the Bengals. I knew they was gonna turn it around, but not this quick. Not this quick. I gave them to next year, but to see them in the AFC Championship game, and I'm going on a tangent. But what I'm saying is that all these quarterbacks are in the same category. Maybe the stats are more fancier for like a Kyler Murray and these guys during the regular season, but when you get them to that postseason, they all look the same. You even if you look at Josh Allen first time in the playoffs, Peyton Manning first time in the playoffs. So I think Devontae Smith did the right thing. I think Howie Roseman and these guys are making the right decision on just building a team. Even if you don't believe in Hurts and you build that team and then you look into the next year's draft for a quarterback and Hurts is just not good, then you can do that. But at least you have the team ready. You had a team ready. Like the Buccaneers, they just needed a quarterback that did not turn the ball over. They got Tom Brady. Well, they give him a ring, but imagine if they ain't had no Mike Evans or Godwin or these guys, OJ Howard and that defense before Tom Brady came. I mean, they would have been lost, but they had everything. They just was missing a quarterback. So, what do you think? How do you feel, man? Jonathan Gannon had a great interview with the Broncos. His second interview with the Texans. Do you like Mike Zimmer, or do you? I know the guy from the Ravens is the hottest. Don, he's the hottest right now. He's been with the Ravens for like 9 years. And the Ravens defense always played at the top tier level. I like him too, but I really like Mike Zimmer. I like Zimmer. But this is Alphabet the Analyst. Goes.